Welcome again. Welcome to the fourth episode. For this episode, I'm really a bit sad because someone is missing in this episode. Unfortunately, Hilman Batwo is missing. He's flying right now to Africa for holidays. That's good luck for you. I'm super jealous. So I can already invite my dear friend, my dear colleague, whatever. So yes, he is. So wait, he's coming from the. Oh, also he was flying, but he came back because of the episode. Then 3, 2, 1. Welcome again.
Welcome.
How are you?
Grazie.
How are you?
Yeah, it was really.
Sorry.
I was high.
Oh, that's for you. That's for you.
Oh, so much love.
Yeah. Not
I
for
know
me.
we don't have Batuo today, but we have amazing guests.
Yes.
They are gonna replace them.
Yes,
so
I found people for something I wanted to talk always, because this podcast is offcast for podcast for Maastricht, for student and for normal people or whatever. It's for everyone. So always I remind you, if you want to come, I can invite you. You tell me the topic you want to talk about it. You are always welcome. So I saw some organization from a students association. Sorry for mistaking. So and I was like, okay, like there is like ESN. How you say? ESN, and there is like a UNSA, right? United Nations Student Association. Yeah, I know. I cannot believe it.
Trying a few
So
times.
I invited the president of this association, amazing association of students from Maastricht. So welcome to Isabella. 3, 2, 1. Welcome. Oh, I love your style, your color. It's like from the
Yeah,
sky.
because UNSA color is blue. Actually, it's baby blue.
Oh,
So that's why I made that.
without organizing. Look how he doesn't.
I'm also-
Yeah.
Sorry.
Eh,
Go back, go change. So we have another. Please, you can introduce him.
Okay. So wait, introduce Peter.
Yes, if you
Okay.
want.
Absolutely.
So of course, UNSA has 7 different committees, and each committee has a head. And today we're going to have Peter as well. He's head of journal. So welcome, Peter.
Oh, that was really. Oh my God, this was like. Are you okay? Do you want
I'm
oxygen?
perfect.
Okay. Welcome to the offcast, and wait.
Finally,
but-
we are all here.
Yes, and we want to ask you something. Who are you? What is this? Like, sorry for asking.
Tell
but
us, our viewers.
Yes, I was never a student in Maastricht. So who are you? What is this UNSA? Yeah, I cannot even say something. Tell
Yeah.
me.
So I'll introduce who I am personally, and then Peter can introduce himself, and then I'll go more into what UNISA is, because there's so much to talk about,
Okay.
and I've been there for 3 years, and I know every single angle, so I'll do that after.
Okay.
But first I'll introduce myself. So my name is Isabella, and I'm president of UNISA.
Oh.
So I joined 2 years ago in my first year of my bachelor's over at UCM,
Okay.
and I joined the permanent delegation, so I was really interested in politics. And I was like, okay, I want to start debating, so I joined the committee where I can practice debating. And then the year ended, and I loved UNISA so much, and I was like, I want to keep working with them. I love them, and I'm also super interested in volunteering and SDGs and in general humanitarian work.
Okay.
And there's the development committee, so I was like, okay, I like what they do, so I applied to be head of that committee.
What is the development committee for the people that don't know?
So the development committee,
Thank
it's actually really funny. I attended a presentation from the head, and she explained it, so I have it fresh in my mind. Basically, they focus on promoting the SDGs, and they do that via volunteering, fundraising, and raising awareness. So we actually have an Instagram where we do all of that. It's unisa.development.
We'll put it here later.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, basically we just talk about all the different type of SDGs, and it's a committee of 10 to 20 people, and they focus on raising awareness about a topic that really interests them. So climate change, gender equality, zero hunger.
Super interesting.
Yeah, all sorts of SDGs.
Superhuman.
Yeah, humanitarian work. So yeah, I've always been involved in that my entire life, and that's why I was like, okay, I want to apply and be part of this committee, and I tried for head, and I had the pleasure last year of working with them. So yeah, and then once again, same story. Year ended, and I love UNISA so much. I was like, I'm gonna apply for president. Like, it's my favorite. It's like UNISA is my life at this point.
Okay.
So And that's where I am now.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
So, and who are you? She told me your name, but I don't know something about you. Tell me more.
Hi again, I'm
That's
Peter.
how we treat our guests.
I'm Peter. I am also in my third year in the United Nations Student Association. I am in the journal committee of that association.
Oh, okay.
So that's another committee that does more of a traditional student newspaper thing. We meet once a week, and we have a blog, maastrichtdiplomat.org, where we publish articles. We also have a podcast, actually. So many podcasts.
They try. But you have then you write in a news then, like you have student.
Yeah, we have our blog, and we write articles about all kinds of things that are going on in Maastricht, in the world. This last year we focused a lot on student politics in Maastricht, but we're also talking about any kinds of things that are going on in the world, always from a very particular, from the perspective that we have, that is as students of Maastricht University.
Where are you from?
Personally, I'm from Berlin. I grew up there, and
Okay.
I'm one of the few people in Maastricht who just come from one single city and lived there the whole life.
Me too. Milano.
Oh, yeah,
18 years
that's
of my
true.
life. You're not alone.
So
That's interesting, but
Nice.
you didn't say where you're from.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, then where are you from?
So usually I avoid that question because I don't know how to answer it.
No, you have to.
Yeah, so actually my dad works for the UN. That's also why I'm really interested in UN values and UNSA. So we grew up in various countries. So he's German and my mom's from Argentina. But I was born in New York, and then I moved to South Africa, and then Thailand, and then Austria. So these are like the classic UN countries. Like if you hear those countries and like you would guess where my dad works for, you could automatically guess UN because there's headquarters in Vienna, New York, and like Pretoria and Bangkok are like one of the main places to work for at the UN.
Okay. So you speak 10 languages?
No, I don't. My languages
I'm
is
joking.
where I kind of suck at. I was pretty much went to American schools. Probably why I sound super American. But yeah, English is my strongest language at this point.
Español un poquito?
Yeah, español.
¿Sí?
Mhm.
No poquito. Bien.
Sí, bueno.
Bueno,
Bien.
bueno, Kinderman. So, okay,
Tengo todo.
that's nice, interesting.
Yeah.
So, what we are talking about?
Well, today we are focusing on how student association work. We want to make understand the students how there are student association, because I was 3 years in Maastricht University. I was never part of a student association, and I only learned about it on my last year. And I think that's a big problem, because I think student association can help, especially first year students, to find their space, a community, that they can share values with. So
As they do, they meet every week to write the blog. That's
to write
amazing.
blog
Yeah.
on different topics, as you said.
That's why I invited you. So you could explain to me, because I was never a student again in Maastricht.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, are you studying law or
But I guess you're not a student anymore as well.
I am a student.
You're a student,
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Why
I mean,
you don't want to-
we're all students.
Yeah,
It's like
we're
the
all
full
Okay.
Are you
student
still
association.
I'm not a student anymore. Like, I'm studying, but not in Maastricht
What did
University.
you study?
I
before?
studied at FASOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Then
lot
I-
of FASOS people at
Yeah.
UNSA.
Of course,
Then I drop out.
Okay.
that's your choice,
Yeah, for other stuff. But it's not the topic now.
Okay, so can you explain to me
Yes.
what's inside of
Okay.
this association?
I'll definitely, what you mentioned before about community, 100% what like UNISA is about, and I'm 100% sure other student associations as well. It's a family. So at least for international students, like, we're not with our family in our home countries and like we're abroad.
Yeah,
It can be kind of intimidating when you move somewhere
absolutely.
completely alone. You don't know the local language or in general. So
And someone moved when he's 16, 17.
Yeah.
I met girls that told me, I came when I was 16.
Yeah,
Or
I
going
also
to
met-
17.
yeah.
Hola,
It's-
what?
It's quite scary because like you're so young and like you're finding a new life and everything, and I think what UNSA has to offer, for example, is like just a family away from home, and it's also super international. So it's like you're gonna meet people from so many different countries, and also since we're interfaculty, like we have people from engineering or people from FASOS or law or business or UCM, global studies, kind of everything. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a whole mix of like I guess chaos in a good way, of like people from different backgrounds, and we all come together and we all work on what we're passionate about. So for example, Peter, like the journal committee, they focus on journalism, and they also have like sub branches in social media and podcast, and different forms of journalism. So it's just kind of like a family that you also like work on things that you're passionate about. So like for example, development, everyone's super passionate about humanitarian work and the SDGs. So you just come together and like you do something that you love and people that you love. And I think that's super nice, especially when you're like kind of, you know, you don't have like your family at home or like the stability that you had in your home country. So I guess that's pretty much what's really nice about these student associations, and also networking.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you accept not student? Because I think it's super cool.
I mean,
no, really, when you are here alone without family, you have to create your family.
Yeah.
I mean, I did my best with my friends,
Yeah.
but still, that's amazing. I'm joking though,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah.
it's
I
amazing.
think,
It's amazing.
as a young person, it's very important to find this kind of stability. Because I don't know, as a person that struggles with mental health, I can tell you not having this stability can, you know, make
Your life
problems
harder.
even worse.
Yeah.
While if you have a stable community, a stable family, as you called it, I really like how you said we are a family.
Really Spanish.
Yeah.
I can see it from Mediterranean.
But I want to know if people that are not students, they can join.
Oh, actually,
at this point.
they can also join.
Yeah. I mean, to be a member, you have to be a student in
Okay.
like higher education, like in university.
Okay.
But like high school students can join, for example.
Yeah.
But you can join our events, for example.
Okay.
Like I don't know, whatever happens in the future.
Seems fair.
Or you can just like, hang out with
We
us.
can make events for you.
We can make events. We can do podcasts. We can do everything. Like you can
That's
definitely
amazing.
still be part of UNSA
Okay.
in one way or another. Yeah.
That's
Or you can
amazing.
like do journalism activities. You can collaborate. Like we have marketing here. We have also Euromun. So we have the entire board behind the camera.
Hello. What is
They're
Euromun?
behind the
Explain.
cam-
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
many people may not know it.
Yeah, maybe I'll also just give like a little intro to UNSA. So I
Absolutely.
keep putting names out there. So there's
course.
Journal Committee, there's Development Committee, and last committee I'm going to mention is Euromun. But basically, then we have marketing, we have events, we have external affairs, and then we have delegations, and then Euromun. I'm not missing one, right? Okay, I always miss one.
Seven.
When
you
you
said,
look
no?
when you look to them, looks like someone like
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah.
I saw people think like we're like in a movies like
Yeah.
professional marketing.
Yeah.
amore.
So those are the 7 committees. I'm pretty sure I mentioned 7. If I forgot one, I'm sorry.
We're gonna add it if
Yeah.
you forgot it.
Yeah, and so basically journalism, we already talked about them, and then marketing, they focus on like all the social media posts of UNSA, and also just event promotion, everything that you see of UNSA, like all the logos and everything.
And yes.
Yes, so marketing does all the social media and Instagram, and event promotion, all the posts that you see are like logos, merch, that's all designed by the marketing committee. Then we have the events committee, and they organize all type of events, both social and also academic. Then we have external affairs, and they focus on, you know, finding partners. So for example, you ever want a partner, if you know a good partner for UNSA, external affairs is more in charge of that. Yes, and then we already talked about development and journals, so I'm going to talk about Euromun. So that's a big MUN conference. So MUN stands for Model United Nations. So yeah, UNSA, we do everything that's related to the UN. So SDGs or debating or politics or anything like that. So they focus on organizing a conference that's usually in May. And yeah, it's a huge conference with several committees and where you can debate basically for around 4 days. I actually forgot one. Then there's delegations.
Okay.
So delegations is like kind of like also in the MUN world.
Bureaucracy
No.
type. No.
You make a simulation of the major organs of the United Nations.
Yeah, exactly,
No way.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like for example, like
It's
you
the
go to this.
reason I'm here in this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When I
super
was
cool.
15, I did a Euromoon,
No way.
and we did it in Rome, and then we won, and we went to New York.
Oh
So
yeah.
we went to the actual what's called the Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the United Nations Palace.
Yes.
We met also Pharrell Williams. When he
Yeah.
was happy the song.
Oh yeah, I mean, you were 14 or 12.
I was 14, I think, or 14 or 15. But it's actually the reason why I'm in Maastricht, because it was the first very international experience I had in my life, and it really helped me to understand what like this world of relations, you know.
Mhm.
Outside your world
Yeah.
as well, outside
What's
of
happening
Italy.
behind, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so
Great.
basically, like with MUNs and stuff, like you just go and you pretend you're a country and you kind of debate for that country and their positions and international relations. Exactly. New York is definitely a hotspot for
Yeah.
anything UN related.
Absolutely.
It was amazing.
Yeah. And then delegations. So Euroman focuses on organizing the conference. It's like more logistical, and then delegations is like more debating. So you like learn how to debate and you practice and you go to MUNs. I don't know, in Prague and Brussels, wherever, and then also to Euroman. So yeah, that's a little brief intro to UNSA. Like I could talk for hours. I'm not kidding. Like
Right,
I love UNSA.
So
but
you have a lot of activities for students. How
Yeah.
can people access to these activities? How can people, you know, discover you,
Yeah.
join you?
John,
Yeah.
absolutely.
well, definitely our Instagram. So unsa.maastricht. There we kind of post everything that we do. So events or
The marketing department.
yeah, the marketing.
Hey,
yes.
you listen.
Yeah.
Hey.
So they help promote everything that we do. So if you're interested, definitely follow our Instagram, and then there you can kind of see like what's going on this week. Like like for example, there might be a lecture series about politics, for example, in the EU, or like migration or something specific, or I don't know, any sort of fun event, or so for example. You could also become a passive member. There are active members, but applications have closed for now. They might open in January again.
Okay.
And those are the people who like organize, and they're behind the logistics, like more behind the scenes. And then if you're a passive member, then you don't really have to do anything, but you can like
Be present
everything,
there,
yeah. and just like come whenever you want.
I have a question, but which event do you organize? Which
What
type
kind
of
of?
event? Yeah.
Yeah, we do like I don't know, literally everything. Maybe if you want to talk about the debate, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, next to all the lecture series and parties that Bella already mentioned, we had there's also parties.
Well,
I mean,
and now after COVID, finally,
Can
Student
organize
association.
this?
yeah, with COVID, it was so sad, but we tried to do everything online. But now we're trying. I mean, hopefully.
Party online.
That
Hey,
sounds-
Zoom, let's go.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds very sad.
Yeah, we tried our best.
Yeah,
Okay.
but still,
Yeah.
don't leave the guy
Yeah.
alone or the girl, because you're still a squad, a family.
Yeah, exactly.
but we
Even
still
over
had
Zoom.
we still had a couple of fun things last year. I remember there was pub quizzes, for example. These
Yeah, we had
What did-
online pub quizzes.
Online,
We did everything that we could online.
Of course.
But yeah, maybe I think the
amazing.
debate was like a huge event that
Yeah.
mostly Journal was in charge of, and I think that was a great success because it was also in collaboration with Maastricht University. I don't know. I think it's like a highlight of last year, definitely.
yeah, that was really a special thing. We had for the whole last year. I said it already. We had a focus on student politics for our journal. So we wrote a lot of articles about the different student parties and what the university council does and these kinds of things. And kind of the highlight of the year was last May, a great debate of all, or not all, but from every party. There was a representative who was a candidate for the university council. So in May there was the election where the students themselves elected their representatives for the university council, and the university council is the body in the university that works together with the executive board, where all the students are represented and also staff. And the students every year they elect a new their new representatives. And so the candidates for this election we invited, and we actually also collaborated with the election office of the university. So it was something similar like this. We had this setup, and our last year's head editor, so my predecessor Michael, he moderated, and that unfortunately also had to be online. So the candidates were then joining online on a big screen, and we talked about a few different topics that students were concerned about at the time. So that was, for example, how the university dealt with COVID. That was how the university dealt with mental health, which obviously was a big issue last year.
Still.
Yeah. I mean, it still is. It's ongoing. It will probably never end, unfortunately. But so it's still there's still a lot that the university can do, and there's a lot of ways in which the university positively or negatively contributes to the mental health of its students. So that's the thing that also the representatives then, the student representatives, could really approach the executive board of the university saying, look, there's facility that's just not accessible enough, or we need this for the students. And then in many cases, the executive board will actually listen and be quite interested.
So did you get any like interesting points out from the debate that you made, or
yes,
like,
I mean,
even if it was online?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we had quite a lively discussion, especially when it came to things like mental health and all the different parties. I think because many of them really only picked up this topic of mental health in the last year when it became so apparent, and it was really interesting how the university, not the university, the student parties dealt with this. Last year, and how they tried to get their points across and how they tried to improve the situation
on the basis of what was happening.
For the students. And what was also interesting, I tried to remember what was, there was a kind of relatively lively debate also about sustainability, for example, which also the university has been advocating for a few years, but then there's also people saying the university doesn't do enough. It's a nice surface and we're painting everything green, but we're not actually doing a lot. So that's especially the Khan party. You might have Climate Action Network party. Yeah. They are represented in the university council also, and they did a whole thing. They wrote a report on how the university is dealing with sustainability. So that's also a thing we had last year. We had an interview with a representative of them.
Interesting, very interesting. But is there a way that in which like students can participate more, let's say, actively in the life, let's say, of Maastricht, let's say, by volunteering, you know?
Yeah.
Is there a possibility?
No, definitely. That's also something UNSA is trying to do a little bit more. I think when COVID hit really hard, UNSA just kind of like shut down for a bit. Like it was super difficult that year. But then when we started rebooting, so last year, at the beginning of 2020, academic year, so August more or less, there was kind of like the shift towards being more involved in Maastricht. So kind of like, especially with development. Before in previous years, we focused a lot on like international volunteering. And then I was like, okay, travel right now is almost impossible, especially because the international volunteering was like in countries that were really, really far away. And it was super expensive where there's restrictions or it's just unsafe to go with like health reasons. Yeah. So there was definitely a shift that I would say. I don't know, I noticed as well with Journal, just in general, other people in UNISA, it's like, okay, we're going to focus more on what we can do in Maastricht and how we can connect not only like students together, but also like with people from Maastricht. Yeah. So for example, with development, I use that example a lot because I worked with the committee for a year last year. Yeah. What we did was we volunteered with the elderly home here. And it was so nice. We did Christmas cards, for example, and we did another event. I think we like baked cookies, and of course, like following all public health restrictions. Or there's an event called Serve the City. I don't know if you know of it.
What's that?
So Serve the City is actually quite a big organization. I think it's global or at least European. And in each city, they have different like subsections of the organization. So here in Maastricht, it's called Serve the City Maastricht. And what you do is...
Do you know it?
I'm not familiar with it, to be honest.
It actually might be really nice for you if you're interested in volunteering.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
What they do is they host these like volunteer days. So I think it's like once a month or like once every 2 months, more or less. They actually have one coming up 27th of November, if you're interested. Okay. I haven't checked out the exact...
Is it the same people that do like the cleaning of the river? Every 2 or 3 months?
I don't think it's the same, but the principle is more or less the same. So, for example, you sign up for whatever activity. Last year, what we did was we went around and we just asked people if they wanted their windows washed.
No way.
Yeah, and we were just like, hey, can we wash your windows? And we just did it for free. And then some people invited us in. We had a coffee, and like we connected to people from Maastricht who like live in Maastricht. There were also some students who like stayed in Maastricht 10 years later. They started a family and everything. I was like, what? Like it's... Especially like, as an international student, like I rarely have the opportunity to engage with people from Maastricht, and like Dutch people as well. So I think that was super, super nice, and like you get to do like a nice act. Like it was early in the morning, so people like had something nice in the morning. Like okay, now I have clean windows. But there were so many other activities.
You see a stranger cleaning
we always asked.
Already the reaction of someone. Oh, do you want the window washed?
Yeah.
Like, are you a thief or what?
No, no.
I mean, it's amazing.
It's definitely like just small like activities that you can do to connect with the local community. Some other people did like I can't remember exactly, but
And tell us more, please.
Yes. Okay.
I'm like confused and interested because I didn't know there was like association in Maastricht of students going around and like asking
Yeah.
for help. You know,
Yeah.
if you need the help, it's amazing. That's
Yeah.
I really you need the applause for myself because you really. It's really nice. Already your mentality. I don't know you. I just met you and already see how you want to help people without any something
In
back
return.
in return. You know, that's amazing. I hope there was people more than you. Like
Yeah,
like
because
you
we have to
more.
say that you are volunteers as well. Like you don't get paid in UNSA.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that's how you create your career. From this, maybe you will love like journalism, and you if you
No.
if
You
don't
will
know.
love journalism in the future.
I already
You
love
love.
it.
I already know, but will be your work.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
but-
maybe you start
No, no.
hated.
Yeah, maybe Unisa making
No, I love way too many things. I really have to see, but it's absolutely an option. It's quite
Yeah, there is they call it like a crisis of 20 years old. Like
Oh, yeah.
you have too much options, too much energy.
Also, even within journalism, there's so many
And not enough time.
Yeah, of
fields
course.
that can
Yeah.
cover so many different things, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, please tell me more with about your experience.
Yeah, I mean, touching on about that career thing, that's
Yeah.
actually super common. Like, there's a lot of people from journal committee who become journalists, or there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who are part of
can
UNSA
imagine.
and they work for the UN in the future. Like, they get internships or other organizations, and that's something that we're also trying to do. We're trying to get UNSA alumni to come talk about, like, you know, their careers afterwards, because it's like sure, in the moment you're like working, you know, it's voluntary because like it's just an extracurricular while you study, but you gain so much valuable experience. And you can talk, like, at least me, I can talk for ages about what we did, like last year
Absolutely.
development and also with delegations. And also now in the executive board, like, you learn so much and there's so much to talk about that, like, 100% in the future, it's like a nice, I guess, foundation for your career or for life
Okay.
in general.
I don't want to build a career, but when you are volunteering, call me, text me,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, no, actually, that's a really good point because the development committee, they have a sign-up form. So if you're interested in local volunteering, if you sign up on the Google form, on their Instagram, you can see in the link in their bio. They
We're
will
gonna put also here
Yeah, here.
in the description.
Yes, somewhere. In the sky, falling.
No.
Wait, chill.
Oh my
The
God.
editing skills are still.
They are trying, you know.
We can make
Yeah.
people fall, not
Going
letters.
Yeah. So if you sign up there, they will email you when there's volunteering. So 100% if you're interested, you will get notified, and then you can join whichever project they're organizing.
Yes, I
And
will.
it's for the year. So whether it's like, I don't know, going to the Christmas market with the elderlies, or just engaging in general with these once a month with Serve the City, literally anything at all. Or like nearby, maybe somewhere in Brussels or in Belgium.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
I speak French, so I can.
yeah, nice.
It's,
Can
Yeah.
we ask you this quick question? Are you guys connected with the UN directly, or just by the name?
Yeah, not
You
directly.
take the value.
Yeah, basically, like, we follow UN values, but we do work with UNU Merit sometimes, and they are the UN. UNU Merit is United Nations University here in Maastricht. But yeah, we do have like speakers and you know, people who come work for the UN. They come talk to us. We actually had the Under Secretary General, Melissa Fleming. She came to talk to us,
okay.
and she's the Under Secretary General for Communications and Journalism.
Amazing.
So she came last year on Zoom, and yeah, she just
Another online event.
Oh
yeah,
my, yeah, of
Quite a
course.
big one.
Of course.
yeah,
Of course, I can imagine. But at least.
And that was also when we live streamed on Facebook, I think, this one.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was also the thing we did last year a lot,
Yeah.
was these kinds of live stream events. Obviously this year we want to have them in person
Yeah.
and live.
Yeah, I hope so.
yeah.
But the whole live streaming was actually a really interesting experience, and really we learned a lot in how to do online events. And now even if we have an offline event now, we can still live stream it, and we have double the audience, and that's
Yeah.
an amazing thing.
No, I definitely think that there's so many benefits because, like, for example, Melissa Fleming or any other person that we want to invite to talk to us, like, they can't just fly to Maastricht and like give a lecture. Like, law faculty for like an hour and then go back. You know, like they live in New York or they live all over the world.
We have here a bed.
Yeah.
Maybe she
yeah.
can fall from the sky.
She comes to this podcast.
Okay, go back.
Yeah.
Next episode, guys.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're gonna write her an email.
Yeah. I mean, she could.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the green screen we have in the back.
Oh yeah.
We don't need
We are
to
in
put
New York.
Yeah,
So,
but with that I meant like in general, last year, although it was all Zoom, it was still, there are some benefits. Like, I think we had a successful year regardless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
That's
Sounds
amazing.
like you guys are
really,
also
I want to go to the
had
university
fun.
and subscribe. I want to become a student.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Subscribe
our
to their
Instagram.
YouTube channel, to their Instagram, to their
Yeah.
student association.
Yeah, but even if, I mean, as Bella said, there's still a lot of things you can kind of get from the UNSA, and maybe even the more fun part, because I mean what we are doing is the work to organize these events, and
Yeah.
then people who are not
Yeah.
active members can
I
actually just
can
enjoy them,
imagine.
can just read
Yeah.
our articles, can just go to the volunteering events.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Come to the UNSA
I will be
to have
there.
fun because they work.
Yeah,
You know,
we
you
do
don't
the
have
work
to
so that
work.
other people don't.
But still, if you're there, you need to help.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not
Yes,
coming.
of
Yeah.
course, of course.
And yeah, like if you're an active member, so if you're the one who's like doing the logistics and everything, like you learn so much throughout the year, and like you get more of the family vibe if you're not a passive member. So passive members, like they just enjoy everything, which is amazing, of course. Like probably more chill and fun.
I can imagine.
But with active members, like they get more experience and like more out of it, in my opinion.
I think it's better.
That's why
being,
Whenever people ask, I'm always like, be an active member.
yeah, it's better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why you're a member if you're not active?
Yeah.
Lazy,
Yeah.
lazy person.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's something else that you wanna say, guys, otherwise we're gonna wrap the first part.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see the guys in the second part.
Yes, I think so. We have to cut because the time is like, we have a.
Do you
Yeah.
wanna,
I don't have anything to say, but thank you for inviting us.
Of course,
Yes.
of course.
Super fun
Thank you.
talking to you. And
Maybe it's not the first time and last time.
Yeah. So.
Look at
Yeah.
him. Oh no, I want to
Oh,
find
see.
again.
Yeah, next episode.
I
They're
mean-
here again.
Okay, what Ilman says always?
We are going off
We are
cast.
going off cast.